mess up there. Hey Ryan, you go ahead and fire up the mics.
These are the emails I need you to respond to.
Oh, don't be talking to Wool like that, dude. Never talk to my boy Wool like that.
Joseph's score will not go away, bro. This is
right.
Swear to God.
Hold on. After
but thank you.
everybody got you at a 10, need you at a 5.
This file's at 12 still. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get started. Ready? I'm gonna say good morning.
The Zoomers at home say they do not have audio.
Zoomers at home do not have audio. Give us a second, Zoomers at home. Uno momento.
They can read lips.
Yeah.
Zoomers at home don't have audio. Hang on, guys. We're working. We got it.
Send them Morse code.
Dude.
Some more what?
Anybody got a good joke while we're waiting? Come on, somebody's got a joke.
I'm not falling for that again.
Come on. Somebody's got to have one.
Why do you knock on the refrigerator before you open up the door?
Why do you knock on the refrigerator before you open up the door? Why?
The salad could be dressing.
The salad could be dressing.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a dad joke, dude.
That's a
Dad joke. And I
They
still
can't
to
talk
this
to
day
me because of the webinar, okay. But they can hear me.
You're so
Okay.
funny.
Don't answer.
Are we good?
We're good. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for attending today's stakeholders meeting. Really quick, Zoomers at home, thank you for participating. We are in webinar status today, so if you do want to speak, just drop your questions into the chat, and Andrew will be fielding them for us today. And next time we roll into a market watch, we're going to take it out of webinar status, so we'll be good going forward after this. And Annette Dixler, our great success manager, kick things off, please.
Good morning, everyone. I missed it with Aaron, so I'm going to jump in on that. I told you guys I was going to bring something every week to help you guys grow your business, and we've got such a huge agenda this week that I'm just going to give you a quick little tidbit. We've got some really fun stuff that can help you in your business, but when we're talking prospecting and lead generating, I haven't been actively selling real estate for a couple years now, but I still stay in contact with people, and you guys should too if you have an active license and you still want to make commission. And so I had an old friend, it wasn't even an old friend, it was a person who was a coach to my son who said, we're thinking about moving to North Carolina. Any suggestions of where we should look? And I immediately messaged her, I hadn't talked to her in 4 years, and said, hey, I've got an agent friend in North Carolina that I think might be a good match for you. And she said, great. She actually went over there, toured the area, and bought a house. And because I sent that DM, I made $4,000. And so I really suggest that you guys watch those things and don't be shy about helping people, because that's what you're doing. You're helping them. You're giving them a connection of someone that you know is a good agent. And if you don't know an agent, I did actually know an agent in North Carolina, but if you don't know someone, you guys can go to Zillow, you can go to Google, look at the reviews and find someone that you connect with, their bio, give them a call and let them know that you have a referral for 25%, 30%, 40%. Some people are giving referrals for 50% right now for sellers, for listings.
So my buddy Rick, I sold him a house like 4 years ago. He contacted me last week and he goes, I'm moving to Colorado. I'm buying a house for $1.5 million. Do you know anybody in Colorado? I go, no, but don't make a move without me. So I got on Zillow, I looked up Colorado, and then I pulled up some reviews and agents. Contacted that agent, vetted him a little bit, and said, I got a buyer for you. He's a laydown. He's paying cash, $1.5 million. Will you do a 50% referral with me? He goes, not a problem at all. So I'm going to make 20 grand on that deal, doing absolutely nothing but doing a quick search on Zillow. You guys can always do that too.
Yep, so get those referrals, guys. Definitely help out your sphere. We had a great breakfast this morning. If you guys haven't eaten it, there's still some in there. We always love when Kevin Wool from First American is here because he brings us Rachel's Kitchen. He keeps us a little healthier, a little on the healthy side. Kevin Wool, come on up.
Thank you for sponsoring breakfast, brother.
Yes,
We appreciate
thank
you.
you
Big
for
round for
breakfast.
Mr. Cole. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I don't have a lot for everybody this morning, but get some food. Something that happened this week that I wanted to bring up. Our plan covers under 5,000 square feet if you're looking at our brochure there. If you're dealing with a home over 5,000 square feet with any warranty company, hopefully it's me at First American, but the prices increase. So this is what the scenario was. Worked with an agent a long, long time. Been dealing with them for years. No one in this office. And back in November, they had a home that was over 5,000 square feet. When they sent me the information, they just sent the order information. They didn't note that there was this was over 5,000 square foot. Escrow released the funds, got paid. They went to go put their first claim in. Our auditing department caught it and was like, uh-oh, you guys have to owe us another $860. So I have to call the agent, of course, and grovel because it's half my fault as well. I should have probably double checked. But at the end of the day, they're having to cough up another $860 on something that could have been done from the day one. So just remember to, if it's over 5,000 square feet, have your transaction coordinator or yourself let me know. And of course, I double check them, and so does my assistant. That's something we typically do. So that's my story of the week. I'm sticking to it. Make sure if you've got listings or buyers, give me a call. I'm happy to talk to them directly if you're not wanting to talk about home warranty. And get out there and kick some ass. Let's go.
Hey, actually, real quick before you go, what is the basic plan, just so that everyone knows, what is the basic plan on like under 5,000?
So basic plan is 410, but I always recommend adding the first class upgrade because that's going to cover for additional on the AC and the water heater, and that's really the reason you get the warranty. So basic plus the $99 for the first class upgrade is what I would suggest at a minimum, but I always recommend just going with the Eagle Premier plan because that's going to cover them for washer, dryer, fridge, and give them the upgrade package as well. And then we have some other upgraded packages in there as well if you're dealing with an older home.
So on a lot of my listings I used to go on, the client would always ask me, how much would it be to add on a spa and a pool on those plans? Usually that pops up all the time for questions.
So pool and spa, we do cover. It's a $200 option. The cool thing about our plan is we don't separate salt water from chlorine like a lot of the companies do. So the 200 covers if there's a salt cell or it's a saltwater pool or if it's a chlorine pool. When you're dealing with pool coverage, remember it's all the above ground systems in that self-contained area. We're not getting into structure. We're not getting below the water line, so it's not going to cover the pool light. It's not going to cover a crack in the pool. It's not going to cover the pool deck. It's only going to cover the pumps, the motors, the filters, the jandy valves, and all that above ground plumbing. And if it has a heater, the pool coverage is a smoking deal because I can't tell you how many pool heaters I've replaced for the $200.
Yeah.
So we lose money on pool coverage. All the warranty companies do. So just know that.
Great.
Well, that's
Great
why we
information.
love you, because you guys jump in and do it. So if we need a home warranty, please go to Kevin, get your sellers and buyers involved, and he will answer all the questions for you and make it easy.
And enjoy your food and the rest of the meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
that number is today.
Yes, sir.
One big clap for Kevin.
One big clap. Thank you. Amy Meadle has a quick question.
And when you're doing your KV Core Social for your beautiful listing presentations, add a slide that's got the complimentary home warranty on it. That's in my section of why they're going to use me, why I'm the right fit.
Good point. Listing presentations, free home warranties can be set up on that listing. That's always a really big plus with your sellers. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, and if any of you guys have any questions on any of this, Kevin is so responsive. You can find him on support and Element. Just call, text, or email him, and he can give you guys the details on your specific needs. So thank you again, Kevin. We also have Annie back from Landmark. If you guys didn't meet her last week, come on down.
So Annie Sawyer is our new escrow at Landmark. Someday, I hope in 2022, you'll have your office built.
Hopefully one day.
It ain't my fault. Supply chains, contractors, permitting, not fun these days, I'll tell you, after COVID. Annie, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. If you don't know me, I am Annie Sawyer from Landmark Title. Today I wanted to talk about net sheets. I know a lot of you guys have emailed me already for them. If you don't have my email already, I'll give it to you so you can just email me and I'll shoot you over a net sheet. If you do need a property profile, you can email me as well or my president Greg, and then we'll send those out to you as soon as possible.
So I was going to say real quick, Annie's information's on Element now, so it's all posted for you guys to grab. And if you don't know what a property profile sheet is, it's called a rundown, in other words, too, where you can email Annie and say, or email Greg and say, I would like a rundown on this property before I go to a listing appointment. And what are we looking for? Anybody? Liens. What's another type of lien? Mechanic liens, construction liens, but also mortgages. How many mortgages are on the property? And then who owns those mortgages? So when you go to the appointment and someone says, I only owe 200 grand on this property, but the property profile sheet says 300 grand, you're going to say, did that loan get paid off? Did you do a refi? Did the reconveyance with the title company get done when you did that refi? And that's something to get ahead of so you're not going into close of escrow later and you find out that your property is about to fall apart because this lien or mortgage popped up. So getting ahead of it is cool and it'll save you some time, and it also makes you look like a rock star in front of the seller when you say, hey, I did some research with my title company on you already to show you that I'm a great listing agent. Back to you, Annette.
Yeah, and so just a quick reminder, you guys can go onto Element. Annie and Greg, both of their information is up there available for you now. And thank you, Annie. You've been so responsive. We've had some really good feedback, and we're excited to work with you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. One big clap for Annie. Thank you.
All right, guys. I want to go into just a few really quick updates. Monday is President's Day, and admin and some of management will not be in the office on Monday. And so if you come in and you don't see us here, we're only a phone call away. And I know Aaron has some exciting news about the Mojo Dialer that he wants to share with you guys.
Yeah, we had a good group of agents that are trying to create inventory, which means I'm trying to find people to list their home. That group of agents went to Annette and said, hey, we're looking for sale by owners, we're looking for notice of defaults, pre-foreclosures, expireds, withdrawns, canceled listings. We want that data so we can call those people and prospect and see if we can get them to list our homes with us. So we dove into Mojo and we signed up for a new subscription that brings all of that data right into Mojo for you. And it updates every single day, and it pulls information from the MLS, it pulls information from the county, and it researches all the information, and then it puts the homeowner's information along with a phone number, sometimes email, and a property profile right in Mojo. So you can select pre-foreclosures, hit the dialer, and call 300 people within an hour and check in and see if they want to sell your home. So all of those new lead sources are in Mojo for you guys to access. How do you use Mojo? Take the quick class that's in Element, and then come to us if you have any questions. There's over 72,000 leads. I think it went up to 100,000 once we started pulling in more information. So you guys have all the leads and the tools and the resources in Mojo. So you can set up a time to get in there and go ahead and start dialing and creating that business that's out there. And those are good lead sources. And then come to us for training on how do I call a for sale by owner? Well, this is the pitch. How do I call somebody in pre-foreclosure? Well, this is the pitch. And get on there and just start dialing. Because we all break down our business on conversations. And if you guys aren't having conversations, there's no way you're going to find any business. So the Mojo Dialer's up and set. If you have questions, let us know. It's a great tool. Ernest and I are talking about it. He's deep diving into it as we speak. And I look forward to hearing some results from you guys.
Yeah, and you guys, there's great scripts on Element. I've got some on my desk printed out for you. And if you look at the Facebook post, there is a few on there as well. So you guys have all the tools you need. Now let's get you guys calling. Do you want to talk about listings?
New listings? I definitely do. So I'm really proud to say our group of agents here are doing a phenomenal job with new listings when listing inventory is really difficult to find. So we have some coming soon listings. Coming soons you can promote on KV Core, Facebook, and other areas. So I'm going to give you an idea. And if you have a buyer, it's good to connect that buyer with one of our listings in-house to what? Avoid the competition. right? So if we have 20 offers on one of our listings and you have a buyer, then we're going to do our best to make sure your buyer gets connected with our listing so we go under contract. If you submit your offer at another property with a different agency, the likelihood of you getting accepted drops down a whole lot. So we have listings here, and I want you guys to understand we have them for you to submit offers on for your buyers, and also marketing that we won't get into today because there's a robust system in KV Core you can use. But let's go through these very quickly. I have a listing in 89014 listed at $585K. It's on 1540 Point Vista, and it's a Lennar home. This one's 3,300 square feet, built in 2017. We'll let you know if there's open houses in our Open app. So that's coming up 89014 if anybody's looking. We have 89015 on 678 Barbary Coast, 2,100 square feet, built in 1999. That is 1,287 square feet at $290K. Can't find anything in Vegas for $290K, so that's going to be a good listing. We just dropped a new listing to market on 2289 Cascade. This is in 89142. It's kind of Spring Valley area, built in the 70s. It's turnkey, listed at $299,900. That's a nice price range because it's tough to find properties in that segment. Then we have 2245 Majestic Sunset Court, listed at $590,000, 2,000 square feet, and on a 15,000 square foot lot. So that's over in 89052. Okay, nice Henderson property there. We have another listing at 4855 Van Carroll. This is with Colleen Custer, an agent on our team, listed at $525,000, built in 94 in 89147. So that's Durango and Trop area. Next, 5148 Poem Court, listed at $470,000 in 8901. What is this? 89081. This is like Craig and the 95, so it's a little deep. That one's listed by our own Amber Guzman. Is Guzman here? She's online. I was going to see if she has any offers yet. We have another listing in 89149, Durango 215 on Trace Hollow, listed at $495,000 with Anthony Burton, 2,500 square feet. And then our own Marcel Mack went back on market with a condo on 13th Street for $120K. That one just went back on market, so let's meet with him and see what he's got going for that. So a lot of great listing inventory, guys. Use and abuse us to figure out how to generate some more leads from this stuff, open houses, and then try to get your buyers in on these properties before someone else does.
Yeah, it's such a tough market. I used to listen to my sales meetings and hear what listings were coming up and what price point, and I would be writing that down. And if I talked to someone, or if I was out showing clients, or if I had someone already, I would be telling them, hey, I've got this one coming up. The inside scoop is going to give you guys the edge with your clients. They're going to think, great, this agent's working, this agent's got information that no one else has. And that's what everybody wants. So you guys use this information. We're going to post it on the Facebook page too, but go out there and pre-sell these because it's tough out there.
Nothing like a little circle prospecting in Mojo to grab some more listings based off our inventory.
Exactly.
Just planting seeds.
So we have ERS tomorrow morning at 9:15. You guys can join me here in the office. You can Zoom in. It's on the team calendar. Greg Plapp from Accomplished Home Inspections will be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the training room to talk all about home inspections, how to go over those reports, how to talk repair requests with your clients, the things that are important, the things that we can probably push to the side that aren't that important. And then we have boot camp on Thursday at 11 o'clock. We're going to be continuing the contract to close conversation on the buyer side. We talked about it on the seller side last week. So this week we're going to be talking about what you guys can do to have a smoother contract to close from acceptance to closing. And then we also have a big event on Thursday.
Sure do. Annual awards are coming up, guys.
Yeah, I hope everybody's coming. It's going to be a really fun event to celebrate everybody's success. There's a lot of people that had really stellar 2021 and looking forward to a big year this year. And so come in. It's from 1 to 5. I've had some people have some concerns that kids are getting out of school and they need to go. We're going to have the awards wrapped up by 3, so anyone that needs to leave. And then it's going to be drinks and some food and just, again, celebrating with your peers. Yes, Lynn? Is there a dress code? There's not a dress code. I would say just, business casual, the way we come to work every day.
Yeah.
Unless y'all want to get formal, that's fine too. I love it when you all look pretty.
Why not dress up a little bit if you want? Yeah, it's a big award show.
It's your choice.
Yeah, and we've been growing, and you guys had an amazing last year, and we're going to recognize everybody, and it'll be a fun party. So come and check us out for that one.
Yeah, we're really excited about that one. Speaking of awards,
I think we have some for
we have
today,
some
don't we?
January awards to give out for you guys as well.
We sure do. We're going to recognize everybody for January and go through a little awards right now. This is a good time of the month. Zach's already standing because he knows he always gets the first award that comes out. So Zach, you might as well just start walking up here. And for some of the new people that don't know why I say that, Zach every month wins the highest number of conversations. He's always powering through, having a lot of conversations, adding his metrics to CSU, and he always comes in with the most powerful numbers. You had 323 conversations in the month of January. My man.
I think I wrote probably close to 25 offers in that time.
Microphone up for me.
Sorry.
Tell
I think honestly,
us what you did with that month of 323 conversations.
I mean, I wrote a lot of offers. I probably should have had 3 get into contract. Only 1 ended up going in. One of them kind of got swiped from me by another agent, which kind of sucked. And then the other one, my buyer just backed out because they're just crazy. They were just like, yeah, we actually don't want the house. I'm like, I just beat out a bunch of people for you, and I don't know. It is what it is, but that's how real estate is, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, just show up every day and work hard, and yeah, that's all I got.
The struggle's real. Market is tough,
Yeah.
but you said you wrote 23 offers. And how many clients are you working with right now?
I think I have 10 active right now that I got, and it will hopefully be more, as times go on and whatnot, as Flex fills up and Realtor.com continues to kick in, and then also me and Greg, we got a little farm that we pulled of some owners that own multiple properties, so we're gonna start trying to call on them to get some listings, because obviously that's where the money's at these days. So. Hey, it's a good idea. I'm just
share your secrets, guys. Share your secrets. But dumb question: 323 conversations. Do you think that builds your business because you're just staying steady on the phones?
Yeah, for sure. I got this one guy I worked with pretty much when I first got into real estate. He blew me off, and then all of a sudden he calls me up. He goes, "I want to write an offer on this place." We ended up getting the agent was snaky. I'll tell you about that later. Okay. But we should have gotten that one. So. I'm still mad. I'm salty, but yeah, no, that is not something to tell out public.
No, we'll wait for that. Let's give one big clap for Zach.
Good job. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Zach. All right, so the highest number of appointments met. You can have a lot of conversations, guys, but if you don't know how to convert those conversations into appointments met, then you can't get it to the next side of the fence, which is writing offers or putting a house on the market. And in order to do that, you have to have good negotiation skills. To convert somebody into an appointment and get them out looking at homes, or say, I want to sell my house with you, you have to know the market. You have to be a good negotiator. You got to know the competition. So let's give one big clap for Edwin Corrales. Come on up and let's give him a reward. He had 13 appointments set last month. Congratulations, sir. How do you do it? How do you do it?
I forced them.
Are you got your gun on you today, or?
No, I just get them to want to meet with me and talk about the market and let them know how I'm going to help them get the most or get their house and get their offer accepted.
Yeah, and you work with a lot of buyers and sellers. Is there a theme that you see during your conversations before you get to meet with them? What do you think that little recipe is to just get them to work with you, just to say the yes that everybody's looking for?
You got to keep calling them, got to keep talking to them, make sure you're their friend, and fluctuate your voice. I hear a lot of people around here, "Hi, this is Mark with Resolution Realty." You got to talk to them, be like, and a lot of people make fun of me. I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" My voice gets really loud. You want to be their friend all the time, and so that's usually what gets me to meet them.
That's a good point. Reflection and tonality when you're talking to people. If they're low like that, how you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. If they're bubbly, you got to raise up.
You want to make
be
them want to
bubbly.
buy a house
Yeah.
from you.
Exactly. Awesome. Thanks, Ed. We appreciate you as always. Congratulations. You can give them around. Give them around, guys. Go for it. You did really well. So the highest number of closings in January was our good friend Justin Perry. I've known him for about 20 years. The guy kills it. He's always talking, walking, flipping homes, going on listings, and he built his business out of referrals. He used to crush it during the short sale and foreclosure years. Now he doesn't do anything. He just picks up his phone and people are calling him. So his database is huge, and so is his referral connections. He came in with 3 closings. Justin Perry, you see him around, give him a big congratulations hug, and we will move on to the next one because I know he's not here today. Okay. Top listing agent was Anthony Burton. He put on 3 listings last month. Anthony Burton's a seasoned agent. He's been around 12 years, kind of works from home, has a good referral network, so you can see that business comes back to you. So Anthony Burton, congratulations to him with 3 listings. And then the top selling agent in units for last month was our very own Sam Smith from the Achievement team. He had 2 units closings. Is Sam here today? Online. He's online. Sam, congratulations. Big round for you, brother. And one of my favorites, I love, like, we bring in new agents and we see who's going to be a rock star and who's going to come up and work hard and just really own what we bring to the table here at Resolution Realty. No other than the Rookie of the Month, Christian Carruthers. Great job. You want to speak on that?
Actually, I'm going to have his mentor, Edwin, come up. Edwin wants to say a few words of how Christian's been killing it in his short stint so far in real estate.
So I think everybody's noticed Christian's always here. He stays out late, does open houses at least 3 times a week. I actually had an agent call me and ask me how Christian was getting his open houses, and this guy's a seasoned vet. And I'm like, he calls other brokerages. If we don't have anything available, he calls other brokerages. He's like, and that works? I'm like, yeah, he does 3 open houses a week. And just continually talks. But I think the other thing is make sure that if somebody's teaching you something, to take their advice and kind of work with it. And that's one thing. I used to be a cop and trained officers all the time, and that's one thing Christian does is he's like soaking it all in. And he doesn't just ask me, he asks other people as well for their advice. So, Aaron, I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, I've seen Christian just showing up all the time, coming in day and night. He was, when he signed up with us, he said, I'm going to work hard. I want to get out of the previous career that I'm in. And when he shows up and he stays late and he's doing all those open houses, it's really, really seen his business grow exponentially quicker once he started to get in that hunt. And congratulations. Why don't you tell us, with the hard work in the last few months, how many buyers and sellers are you working with?
So right now we're in 2 escrows right now, and next month I have 3 listings coming up. Shout out to Edwin. And then also too, I have about 6 buyers I'm working with right now.
No kidding. Great job. Let's give him a round. Won't leave you on the, what's that? Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. The hard work pays off, man. Congratulations. Nice job. And Annette is going to explain what the Element Award is that we give out every month, and then I'll say who it was.
Okay. The Element Award is the person, or multiple people, but for this in January, the person who really contributes to the company. It's not really about production as much as it is about being a part of the family. Someone who helps out other agents. We've got a lot of new agents here. This person has a big heart, always answers questions. Happy to share her prospecting and lead generation, from open houses to pop buys to social media tips. She's also just a pleasure to be around. She's always fun. I think everybody here has had an opportunity to get to know her, and if not, I encourage you to go ahead and introduce yourself to
Amber Guzman.
Congratulations, Amber.
A lot of people see her around. She's Zooming today. So Amber, congratulations. Great job. We appreciate all of the culture you bring to this organization, and it makes us proud. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So we have the Inner Circle Awards. Every month, 3 of our agents get entered into the Inner Circle for a Inner Circle Award party at the end of the year, and it's based on volume. So we had a nice run of agents and doing really good volume, I see, out of these 10. But the top 3 are coming in at Gustavo Cardona, $1,365,000 in volume. Justin Perry, $845,000 in volume. And Mayao Yu, $829,000 in volume in 1 month. So those 3 guys just got entered into the Inner Circle Awards. At the end of the year, we have a big party. And our Inner Circle Awards for 2021 is March 4th. So we'll be celebrating all of those people doing high volume. So great job to those participants for keeping them around.
Congratulations to everyone. We're going to go ahead and jump into the Market Watch stats for you all. So I'll just hand it back to Aaron, and Valerie Profer is going to come up with them today.
Come on up, Valerie Profer. We're going to talk about the market conditions today. Yeah, you do. I just want to talk about how important it is that you guys know your market conditions. Say it every single week on every single call. If you don't know what the market conditions are like in Vegas, you will not convert your conversations into anything. You have to know what's going on with our market. It's always moving quickly, and everybody sees articles and they think they know what the hell they're talking about, and they don't. We know what to talk about because we track and monitor all the metrics for supply and demand. And Valerie created an amazing presentation for us today that's going to be a little bit of a twist on what we usually do for the Market Watch. We're going to look at the national numbers first, then we're going to look at the Las Vegas numbers second that I usually have in that spreadsheet that you can find in the Market Watch. Valerie, take it away, my dear.
Aaron, good morning, everyone. So I wanted to put together this information because how many times out in the field are we hearing conversations that are regarding the market crash? We're in a housing bubble. This appreciation is going to cause another housing market. Has anyone heard that out in the field? Or in passing conversation when you're in a group setting at parties? I personally hear it all the time. So when we hear those things, we have to remember we are educators. We have to be teachers right now in this market, and we have to start to lessen the fear that's out there. And I found some really good information from KCM, Realtor.com, and you're going to see where all these sources are coming from. Yep, perfect. Thanks, Ryan. So you can see right now 77% of consumers out there are worried about a potential housing bubble, along with 44% of agents. Again, these are national numbers, but that's a huge percentage. Again, to remind you, we need to be educators and calm that fear down.
That's huge. That's huge. 77% of all consumers think we're in a bubble. So what do you think happens to those people right now today? What are they doing? Waiting. Sitting on the fence. And then 44, let's say 50% of the agents in the Valley, there's 18,000 agents. 9,000 of them are walking around saying, it's going to burst. There's going to be a bubble. Okay? Well, is that true or not true? You'll find out by the end of this presentation.
I love it. So first, let's talk about where we're at home prices. And Aaron has been saying this for over a year right now, that 2022 is projected to have another 10% increase in appreciation. And CoreLogic actually agrees with us. So you can see in 2020, there was a 6% increase in appreciation. Last year, 15%, and now we're projected for almost 10%.
So this is a national number, by the way. All of the slides that we're showing you are national numbers. I've been saying 10% and 15%. I think there's areas of town that will definitely increase 20% this year. I think when we finish up in 2022, I really think there's going to be a 15% across the Valley increase. So let's look at the national numbers, and then when I'm going to talk about what's happening right here in our backyard.
Yeah, and this is a nice snapshot for you for the entire year of 2021. So you can see how that uptick was trending to where we ended in December at an 18.5 increase year over year.
So let me ask a quick question to the audience. If the market is going to go up another 15%, what does that mean to a seller? Come on, you're all real estate agents, just say it. Make more money. Okay, what does that mean to a buyer?
Buy now.
Buy now. The house that you're looking at today for $400 is going to be $450,000 by the end of the year. So if we don't get ahead of that and check your income and see if you can qualify for a loan at 400, we got to do that now, because that same exact house is 450 later. You're not even going to be able to afford it. And then what do you got to do? Rent? Good luck with renting right now. Rental prices are increasing every moment, and the competition is extremely fierce too, because a migration has not stopped coming to Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, Aaron. And we have to remember, when we hear people refer to the '08 crash, that is not where we're at right now. What we're feeling right now is as simple as supply and demand, and not much more than that. So Ryan, if we can skip that slide right there and go to the next, you can see last year, and this is counts in thousands for new listings, it plummeted like a rock back in December, and even more so now, right? So that's just to give you a national overview. From where we were at in January, we had a little uptick, and then we went right back down for new listings. And then you talk about inventory from the '08 crash to now, and you can clearly see it is nothing like what we experienced within those 4 years. This is for months supply of homes. Look where we're at right now. So if we're at 1.8 months supply right now, do you think we're in a position where we're going to get closer to that 10? Meaning we're going to have too much inventory that then could create a crash? What do you think, Aaron? Is that going to happen?
I don't see it happening anytime soon. And how many people are around in the real estate market in 2008, 2007, 2009, 2010? Okay, what's that? Yeah.
We bought.
Well, hey, she's got a lot of equity. Good time to buy then. So back in 07, 08, there was about 12,000 homes on the market at any given time, right? And I keep bringing that number up. A stable market where there's enough supply and the demand is a little bit lower, there's 12,000 homes. Now we're in Vegas, there's less than 2,000 homes. So we're in that deep seller's market. And in order for a market to really crash, you have to go from 2,000 homes to 6,000 homes to 10,000 homes to 12,000 homes. And everybody that you know and every network that you see and every article that comes out is going to say this market just crashed. So then all the inventory goes up and buyers just wait, and then prices plummet, and then people go back in and buy. And that's what happened in 2008. Inventory skyrocketed, values dropped. Houses that were $500,000 were selling for $200,000. And we saw it. It was nuts, and it was fun. But that's not the... It was a fun market back then. I had 900 listings from the bank behind me on a board with some of my good friends that I worked with back in the day. 900 foreclosures. We were just staring at all the property addresses. And it was crazy, but it was really fun. Not good for the market, obviously, but us as realtors had a great time. Sorry to go off on a tangent.
I love it.
Good old days, brother. Kevin was there with me.
So we're going to get into this next topic in a little more detail in just a bit, but I want to ask you, let's say there was an economic crash and now people are worrying about their mortgage. What is going to prevent them having to foreclose or short sell right now? What do they have in their favor that they're not going to have to foreclose? Equity. So we're going to get into that topic a little more in just a bit.
I love hearing these guys say it.
All right, so we're going to talk about the buyer demand and what we're seeing. So you can see in 2021, we hit a 15-year record of home sales. That's really crazy. So again, we're going back to the buyer and the demand right now, and that's what we're focusing on. We're not focusing on too many foreclosures, too many people that can't get out of forbearance. We just have a big amount of buyers and not enough inventory. That's what it's coming down to. All right, and then you can see, I love this one. I'm sure Jen and JD can talk on this next slide too. But when we look at what happened in the '08 crash, look at the volume of loans that were given in the billions for a credit score less than 620 compared to now. So what is this showing us? Our loans are controlled to qualified buyers. Back in '05, JD, were you just handing out loans because they said, I qualify? And you just check mark and said, that's okay. It was pretty easy.
JD never did it.
JD.
You never worked for Countrywide or Bank of America.
Yeah, they were.
If you had a heartbeat, you could get a loan back in 2005. And look at it, there was over 350 billion loans given out in that year. So if you had a heartbeat, you got one. And then if you bought one house, you were able to buy 2 houses, 3 houses, 4. I think I owned like 15 houses in 1 year just based on the amount of loans they would keep giving me. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll buy another, yeah, I'll buy another. But all those loans went out, and now look at the loans going into 2021 that are 620 plus FICO scores. These are people with good credit who have down payments with a controlled loan, like Valerie said. So if we're trying to tell you why we don't predict that there's going to be a bubble, or we're in a bubble, or there's going to be foreclosures, the stats are right here. And this is the stuff that you have to digest and regurgitate to your clients. And you can say, this is why it's not going to be a bubble and burst. This is why we should take action now. This is the type of market we're in.
Gosh, and how many of these loans in the green were predatory loans, right? It was so bad they didn't stand a chance.
And that is, like Aaron, they're saying, it was all bad lending, which is what so much that caused that crash was so much of it. And appraisers that were, I mean, right now, like I said last week, God, our appraisals are coming in a little bit low right now. They're not, they're kind of controlling that a little bit.
Everybody was in on it. The banks were in on it. The Fed was in on it. Everybody was on it, making billions of dollars. And if you guys want to catch up really quick on that whole scenario, there's one movie you got to watch.
Yep, Big Short.
Big Short. Watch The Big Short. You'll get goosebumps. It'll be one of the best movies you ever saw about the foreclosure crisis. They did it extremely well, and a lot of the stuff that they talk about in it is really true. It'll blow your mind. Yvette, you had a question? To Yvette's point, what happened here in 2005 will not happen again, because the DOJ and the Fed and everybody came in and said, here's the regulations, this will not happen again. And they put all those regulations in place to stop predatory lending, stop hedge funds from giving loans out, and stop doing this. So there are scenarios now that have been put in place to prevent this from ever happening again. And you could just say that, right? Yep. That's what we learned from what happened back then when that big rip-off period came in.
Yep. So now we want to touch on forbearance. 2 years ago, when COVID first happened, a lot of people lost their jobs and had to get into a forbearance program. JD, do you want to give them a quick little snapshot for those that don't know what that program was?
Basically, we allowed them to not make payments.
So JD is going to talk about what is the definition of a forbearance agreement. Come on up, Jeff.
Yeah, I wish you told me about that.
Yeah, sorry.
You've been in this game far too long, and you got my assistance too.
Yeah.
So what's a forbearance agreement?
Well, the banks gave them a break, right? So you can't afford the payments. Instead of foreclosure, you basically paused on the payments for X amount of months. And but now, if you're trying to buy a property or trying to get a mortgage or trying to qualify, we got to make sure that we take care of that forbearance. We're seeing it right now. Somebody wants to refinance and they have a mortgage, but then there's this little balloon payment on the back end. So some of you might have that, and then we have to take care of that if you're going to refinance. So they just got very creative on how to keep you in the house instead of foreclosing and then creating the issue that we had back then.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, JD.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And when that happened, so much was so unknown to us. We're thinking, oh my gosh, are people going to be able to crawl their way out of that forbearance? Are they going to have to foreclose on their house if they don't get a job back? So there was so much unknown. Fast forward to 2 years, which puts us today, we can see that that's not going to attribute anything to a housing crash, right? Look, over 80% got themselves out of that program. They either paid in full, worked out repayment plans. 18% are still in trouble and trying to work it out. Again, but if those numbers were flipped, we might go, we got something to worry about, but that's just not the case.
For the people who don't care about numbers or can't digest numbers, here's the long and short of this slide here. 2 years ago when COVID hit, all of us thought the entire market was going to turn upside down, turn into a foreclosure market, because nobody could pay for their mortgage payment. A lot of people did lose their jobs. A lot of businesses went out. And when we were seeing all the businesses and the people not being able to make their mortgage payments, we even thought the bottom was going to drop out. We were preparing for the bottom to drop out. But that's not what happened. We got a lot of buyers that came in and a lot of properties that sold. And anybody that couldn't make their mortgage payment got into a forbearance agreement where the bank bailed them out. And that's what we saw. So instead of all these people that are in forbearance actually being foreclosed on, the bank came in and saved them, and now everybody's out of their forbearance agreements. COVID's essentially over, and now we're moving into what we would call a more normal and stable market. So everybody that thought these forbearance agreements were going to turn into thousands of homes hitting the market as foreclosures, ain't happening. The numbers prove it right here.
Yeah, and the next slide is actually one of my favorites just because it's so interesting. You can see from 2017, there was 314,000 foreclosures. Look today, 29,000. So this number is incredibly low. So naturally, we most likely are going to see a small uptick this next year. But that small uptick has nothing to do with what was happening 3 or 4 years ago, meaning we don't have to worry about the foreclosures changing the market right now. This is nationwide. So it's actually probably even less if we were to go state by state.
29,000 foreclosures nationwide. And you're talking some very depressed, rough areas of the country that didn't survive COVID.
Yep.
Greg Martin, how many foreclosures are in Las Vegas right now? Damn it! He's my favorite to pull because he looks at the market numbers every day. There's about 15 foreclosure properties in Vegas. That's it, 15. How many short sales? Maybe like 10. That's it, across the entire board.
Not even any repos.
Equity. I was just going to say.
Equity.
Everybody has equity.
Yeah, equity through the roof. But think about this. If I am the bank and I foreclosed on the property and I go to list it with Aaron Alessi on the market, do you think the bank is going to tell me to price it low or price it high? High. The bank's not dumb. Just because I foreclosed on somebody doesn't mean I need to sell it for less. I'll sell it for more. So when somebody says, can you show me a bank-owned foreclosure or a short sale because I'm going to get a deal? You ain't getting a deal. The bank's going to put it on the market for fair market value or even more because the bank doesn't care how long it takes to resell the property. So they'll take a house that's worth $400, list it at $450, and I'll sit there for 6 months trying to get price reductions out of the bank. So there's no deals out there for foreclosures and short sales. JD.
One of the other things that strengthens our position right now has to do with the programs that we're doing. Back in the 2006, 2007, the average life of a mortgage was only like 5 years. So doing a 7-year ARM was one of the most popular programs out there. So when the values went down, they couldn't refi out of them. Now they all have 30-year mortgages. So they
Correct.
have equity, 30-year mortgages at low interest rates.
Yep.
Why would they just sit tight and wait for it to pass?
That's the way to do it because adjustable rate mortgages, when they were given out in 2005, somebody would sit in their house for 3 to 5 years, and then as soon as the adjustable mortgage rate came due, their interest rate went from 3% to 10%. And they go, I can't afford that anymore. I got to sell my house. You can't. It's upside down. Well, I want to go refi it. I can't. I don't have the credit score or the equity in the house. So everybody just got stuck. And that's why they were like, all right, screw it. Bank screwed me. I'm out. And then they let all their properties get foreclosed on. And then all that inventory came to the market. Not happening now.
Yep. Can you go to the next slide, Ryan?
Real quick, I just looked it up. 7 foreclosures, right?
7.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yep. And here's a nice snapshot through the years of foreclosure filings. So look at 08, 09, 10 compared to now. So when you have your consumers talking about, oh, it's going to crash, there's going to be too many foreclosures, I want to wait for those prices to come down, use this data. I mean, It's really interesting information when you see the height of it over 1 million down to where it is right now.
Very eye-opening.
It really is.
How many people are moving into the market? Do we have that number? You just keep coming.
I watch it based on inventory. I got some of those stats right now. The total amount of people moving to Vegas per month, I don't know. I haven't looked at that data. Yeah, I mean, it's only increasing. I'd like to know, I remember there used to be 3,000 people moving in per month and then like 2,500 moving out and then like 1% coming from California. I don't know. I think it's definitely went up. So we'll grab that stat for next week.
Yep. So now we're going to give you some really cool stats for equity right now. So Ryan, you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So right now, the average home equity gain that a U.S. homeowner has in their mortgage is almost $60,000. And I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. The year-over-year total, the increase in that is $3.2 trillion in the United States. Meaning if you have $60,000 in equity in your home and there's something crazy that happens with the economy, your chances of being able to keep your house are very, very, very high. So you're not going to have to go into that foreclosure filing status. So really cool stats. This next slide, when you have a buyer that says, I do not want to buy on top of the market, I'm going to wait for it to fall. Remember what we said at the beginning of this quick little presentation, right? We project another 10% increase, even higher in some areas here in Las Vegas. So if they bought today, in 5 years, it's projected they're going to have $90,000 in equity in their house. So it's a really good talking point to work through your buyers with their hesitation.
A national number. I think if you bought a house for $350 right now, it would clearly be closer to $500,000 in 5 years, if not more. I mean, Vegas just goes up way faster than most of the country does, guys. So if you're thinking about buying personally, that's something you want to look into. You know, we talk about financial advising. If you were to buy a house right now in the 300 marker, rent it out, get a little cash flow, and then that house is worth, you know, $500, you have $200,000 of equity to cash out in a few years from now. You know, that's stuff you guys got to think about too. So if you're not buying your own properties, sit down with me.
Yeah, we hope you found this information helpful to help talk through those objections and to help lessen that fear that you're hearing from whether it's your clients or if you're at a party hearing people say it's a housing bubble, it's going to crash. Use this information to educate and to teach them.
This is the way to get your conversations to the next level, database-wise or just being on the phones.
Yep.
We got about 4 minutes left. Can we give a big round for Valerie, please? She's amazing. Annette, I got you in the back. I have tons of stats on the market, but unfortunately I can't go over them today because we're running out of time, but I'll bring these next week along with the amount of migration to our population here in the Valley. We have Annette in the back there. What are you doing back there, Annette?
Hey guys, so we've been doing some shout outs, but actually we've got this fancy shiny bell, so we're thinking instead of shout outs, we should have bell ringers from now on. So, does anyone have anyone that they want to shout out? Anyone have anybody who's done anything good, helped you out in your business, gave you a quick tip? Not one person. I don't believe you all. Thank you, Mary.
I'd like to shout out Sonia. She is an amazing friend, and she's always there when I need help.
This is Sonia's favorite thing that anybody ever does. And so, Sonia, come on over here and ring the bell for being an amazing part of our culture. And Annette seconds that. Thank you.
I also put a Zillow Flex under contract.
Brianna, come with me.
And she just got an accepted offer.
Woo.
Good job.
I have one quick one. Brianna came in with her vision board and put it up today.
Nice.
And she said she's coming in all week and she's crushing it, so I want her to ring the bell.
Good job. Ring it, girl.
Nice work.
And I also want to call up Deanna and Amy Jo because they just now went through a mentorship and it was such a successful transaction. Happy client, they closed. But also, Deanna learned so much from Amy Jo, and so thank you for being such
my pleasure.
Such a great mentor, helping her out and closing this deal. I know it was a little bit of a difficult one, so good job, you guys, and good job, Deanna. Congratulations on your first closing.
Thank you, Amy Jo.
Stephen Armando. Come on down.
Just closed the second transaction, which in and of itself is cool.
Yep. Very cool.
Right after he closed that transaction, a very, very cool gift for him from his client
Yep.
came through the door. It's one thing to give gifts to your clients. We all do it. It's another one when they send a gift to you. Well done.
Amen.
Congratulations. All right, guys. Any other shout outs? Bell ringers? Well, you all deserve a bell ring from me. I think you guys are all amazing. So thanks for showing up today.
Nope. Love you guys. Have a great day and a great week. Thank you.
All right.